machine will be gone. They will not know it ever existed, and—" "That is all it means. There is just this one case. Now we must leave this unimportant example of minor dimensions." He strained consciousness to a forward movement, but Harta remained behind. He had to pull back. "Start," he ordered. Her mind's obstinately frozen stance made him freeze too. He applied all his force to bring her back into control, but she still held fast. "Something more is hidden from me. I will be back," she said, and she disappeared from the ridge. He had never faced such a quandary before on a training trip with a younger one. If he went in pursuit, he would find her, ultimately. That was in the nature of being older and wiser. But if she revolted against his pursuit, she could extend the time considerably on this forsaken planet, and he wanted to get her away as soon as possible. The more time here, the more chance that the awful truth would come to her before her time. He watched the growing waves of creatures floundering toward the vast oozing puddle, which refilled itself as quickly as it was diminished by them, and the receding waves of those that had already fed. This, he could see, was an endless process. The whole life of the species moved in continuous systole diastole around the machine. Soon he would have to go in search of her. But then she was back at his side, her being for this world once more solidified. She concentrated for a moment on the pink-striped waves of rippling inward and outward around the great sustaining pool, then communicated with him. "We can leave now. There's nothing more to see." Something in her mind remained closed to his, as the mind of younger never should be to older. But at least he could see with relief that the worst had not happened. The deeper knowledge had not arrived to her too early when it could only hurt. All he found turned to him as they receded from this thin manifold universe, then moved up the dimension ladder to their home level, was a surface of happiness. Suddenly, though, as they prepared for flight in that hyperspace, all her joy was gone. "I saw it," she said. "In my free and unrestricted spirit I moved deep into the substance of that world, below all the total ruin, far below. And there was a monstrous machine, near the molten core, almost infinitely older than the feeding one far above it. And it, too, had been left in a stratum where all else was destroyed. I could see it had once produced the ooze from which came the life, from which in turn come the beings by whom the machine above it was made. Maybe they, too, thought they were free and unrestricted." He sighed for the bitter cost of the knowledge. This one would no longer go forth in the joy of mere exploration, and he would no longer live vicariously in the happiness of another being's innocence. Now Harta, too, would be seeking the answer to the question of original creation, the answer that he had not found in his journeys across a myriad worlds and dimensions. That no one had ever found. End of Sweet Their Blood and Sticky by Albert R. Teichner.